Welcome back to the second part of You Ask, I Answer. How do I sell my collection? The first thing that everybody should do is toss away the Overstreet guide. Only keep the part that has grading tutorial so that you at least brush up and learn how to grade if you choose to do the grading yourself. But otherwise, I hate to say it, a lot of the things that you think is worth something is worth a whole heck of a lot less. Trust me. Talk to anyone that has blown out their collection and they will tell you, I got less than what I expected. Just talk to anyone. Doesn't matter if the collection is one short box or one long box. Ask them and you will hear the story of how things are a lot less than what they think they are. I don't mind to do the work. I sold a lot of stuff over the past many years. So I have put in the work. I understand how much work there is into it. That's why I buy less and less and less, because I always said it's harder and harder to sell, especially on things that are not worth a lot of money. It's easy to buy a book that are slap worthy, send to CGC, get it back in a few months, ship it to comiclink, done. Easy peasy. I can do that all day long, no complaint there. Okay? But when it comes down to buying raw books and had to deal with grading and then had to deal with listing the raw book and convincing somebody that this is the grade, whew, yeah, it's work. It's not the kind of work I want to deal with. So for those that don't mind that, hey, all power to you. Okay? Like I said, there are tons of people on eBay doing just that. They're selling things for $5 or $10, and hey, if you don't mind put in the time and effort to list 200 books a week and get $5 per book, go for it. Okay, I just can't fathom myself putting in that kind of effort and time to sell 200 raw books on eBay for on an average of $5 to $10 a book. Way too much work. Even if the profit margin is 100%, like, you know, I buy something for $5, I can flip it for $10. No way, no way. After eBay fees and after all the nonsense, PayPal, shipping costs, shipping hassle, it's just way too much hassle for me to deal with. But that's the alternative if you are to sell your collection yourself. So be prepared. Educate yourself on the effort that it takes. You know, my advice to people that are willing to put in the sweat, the work to sell the collection themselves is, if you have 5,000 books, just take out one long box, 300 books, and time yourself on how much work you put in to grade those books and to sell those books. And then multiply by the rest of your books and see how much time you put in there. You'll be surprised of how much time you had to put in there to sell the books. A lot of work, and I can't advise people enough to like think about it. Even for those that say to themselves, I will never sell. Well, I hope your family understand the magnitude of work they have to put up if and when you are gone, because you don't care to do it, because you don't care. They will care. Trust me, when you're long gone, they will care. If you decide to have the dealers, the LCS, to take the bigger profit chunk, if you're okay, if you reconcile within yourself that, you know, I'm not going to do the work, I don't want to do the work, somebody else can make the bigger profit on these because I just don't want to put in the work. If you decided that, for sure, don't waste your time grading the books. Okay, it's pointless. You know, even if you know how to grade, do you think the LCS or the auction house care what you think the grade is? They can't trust you, regardless if you know how to grade. It's not how things work. Okay, so the best thing to do is, before you put in all that effort to grade your collection, reconcile first in your mind how you will sell it. If you are to sell it yourself on eBay, go ahead and do it. If you already decided early on that, hell no, I'm not gonna do this, this is way too much work, then don't bother. Don't even bother to put a grade on anything. The auction house and the grading companies will be the one determining the grade. Stay out of it. save your own wasted effort, okay? Because nobody will care what you think the grade is, okay? So the earlier you decide on what to do with your collection, the better, because then you don't waste the time. I'm a big proponent of not wasted effort, okay? I wouldn't bother to put the grades on my book if I plan to consign those books or have the auction house deal with them. I put the grades on my raw books in case something happened to me and my loved one are left behind with those books and they need to do something with them. So in case they want to sell them raw and list it on eBay, they have some reference, okay? But my hope is I will get rid of them before they had to deal with that. So it's not easy to think about this hobby in this manner, because it's just, who want to think about the morbid ending of this fun hobby, right? It's too much fun to buy, to hoard, to keep adding to the collection. Yeah, that's how we all think. But we have to face the reality. Well, some of us would like to face the reality and deal with it now when we are still in the right mindset. For some people, I don't care about that, and when I die. They can bury the stuff, they can throw it in the backyard, I don't care. That's how some people approach this hobby. It is what it is. I'm not gonna be the one that try to convince people on how they should treat the collection or how they should treat their loved one that they left behind. It's not my place. But once you decided that you want to have somebody else do the hard work, it is absolutely imperative that you do a little work in finding the right person, the right company, the right auction house to do this. There's nothing wrong to call up both comiclink and Heritage or my comic shop. The more the merrier. The more the merrier. Okay, and it's about the phone call. Okay, that's the minimum amount of work that you need to do, is call up as many auction house as you can so that they will fight for your collection. Yes, you get that part right. If you call one person, you have one bid if you're lucky. What if that person say, that's junk, I don't want to deal with that? So at least help yourself by calling as many of the big players from comiclink, Heritage, Metro, my comic shop, Quality Comics. There are so many dealers out there that have the capacity and the willingness and the pocket to buy out a collection. So do yourself a huge favor. Call as many of these people as possible and have them go into a bidding war for your collection. That's one way that you can assure that you can maximize the money that you can get from them. You still will take a bigger discount compared to selling it yourself, but having more people bid for your collection is never a bad thing, right? And they will. If you have a decent collection that's worth 6 figures, and a lot of these people I know that ask me think they do, because they have 50,000 books or whatever it is number that they want to throw out there. The auction house will gladly spend the money on a plane ticket for one of their top guy to fly and check out your collection in one day. Hey, if your collection is worth $250,000, and they can churn it and get that $250,000 and get at least 50% profit margin. Spending a couple $100 on a plane ticket is nothing. They will do that. That's what they do. That's what this big auction house do for a living. Okay, they buy our collections. So it's not a big deal for them. Absolutely not. So I can't stress enough that, you know, even if you are lazy or don't want to do the work, picking up the phone and call 3 or 4 auction house is not that hard to do. Just make the time. They will fly out. They will check out your collection. They will do the hard work. They will organize, even plan things out to bring in the truck, to load up the U-Haul, to get that stuff out of your house. They will do it. Easy peasy. Okay, so as long as you come to the agreement that, you know, I'm going to give away more than the majority of the profit because I don't want to do the work, then it's okay to let them do the work and make the profit. You get some money, you will recoup some money, but it's the easiest and quickest painless way for you to get rid of your collection. Okay, so hopefully to recap everything that I said in the 2 videos is that there is no easy options. Okay, either options require something. Sacrifice in profit by having somebody else do the work, or you put in the hard work. It's your choice. Okay, I know how much work it is to liquidate 10,000 books. I have done it over the past 10 plus years, yet it took me that long to liquidate 10,000 books. I know how much work that goes in, and there is zero chance that I will ever buy a 5,000 books collection ever again. I am way past that. I don't have the energy or desire to do something like that. Yeah, I will buy 100 key books and pay good money to get those books, but to buy 5,000 books and have to deal with 4,900 non-keys, not my thing, not anymore. And that's it. Hopefully the 2 videos combined make a lot of sense for those that look for the answer. It's like, how do I sell my collection? There you go. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.